cordyceps, goji berry, black sesame seeds, which is really easy to use in everyday meals and food preparation, and also a lesser known yin-jing tonic, which is Qiangbai mountain ant, or ants from different parts of China have particularly high zinc contents and other qualities that are very building to that yin-jing foundation quality. And it is often said ginseng may be the king of herbs, but Qiangbai mountain ant is the herb of kings, and that's because it was used by kings that had large harems of women, and they needed something that was very powerful at rejuvenating this basal yin energy that was spent quite profusely if one had a lot of sexual excesses. And that's specifically the male ejaculatory effect, not so much sex as in the actual act of sex, but it's ejaculating the fluid of the male semen, which is very highly concentrated in minerals, prostaglandins, all sorts of essential fatty acids, and genetic material, which is takes a long time for the body to recreate and restore, and should be preserved at all costs if you're doing the right exercises. If you're not doing the proper sexual kung fu type exercises, I'd recommend just ejaculating less, and there's certain ways to go about that. I talk about that in past videos, and we'll make videos on that in the future. Now, a great practice you can do on a daily basis, which is really safe. It's considered a qigong practice, but it's not going to be dangerous for anyone just to try on their own. It's strengthening to the jaw and the teeth, and a lot of us eat food that is quite processed, even amongst raw fooders. If you're not eating enough really tough to chew food, you're drinking a lot of liquids, whether it's juice, smoothies, soups, etc., or even cooked food. A lot of cooked food can weaken the jaw, and our jaws have shrunk considerably since the introduction of more processed food into our diets over the past agricultural years of humanity's history. But what you can do is clicking the jaw or tapping the teeth, and that's simply doing a certain number of these per day. You can do it after meditation practice, after yoga practice, before you go to bed, or after you wake up. Just make a ritual and a routine out of it and keep consistent with it. You can do it every day. You're not going to injure yourself. That's simply, maybe you can do 36. That's a good lucky number in Chinese philosophy. You could do as many as 88, which is, again, is another lucky number. You may as well pick a number that is significant for you. But you're simply going to go like this. That was just 18 I did right there. And you're focusing on tapping the teeth, not too hard that you're clenching the jaw or injuring the teeth, but just enough that you're actually stimulating blood flow to the teeth, to the gums, and with regular use of this exercise, you're going to increase the flow of nutrients to the whole area of your mouth, which in turn strengthens the teeth, the gums, strengthens the roots of the teeth and their hold with their microfilaments to the gum and to the jaw, because they're not set directly into the jaw. The teeth are literally floating in your flesh, and they need stimulation to strengthen, much like you can strengthen tendons through proper weight-bearing exercise, but you can do it too vigorously and you can rip a tendon or a ligament, and if you don't do it enough, you're going to atrophy your tendons and ligaments over the long haul, over the course of your lifespan. Yeah, gently tapping the teeth, it's going to increase the symmetry of your jaw. If you do it properly, if you're focusing on one side more than the other, you're going to run into problems if you're consistently doing that. So just focusing on being aware of the surface of the teeth and how much pressure on each side is getting, and keep aware of how much pressure each side of your jaw is getting, and also the pressure difference between the front of your teeth and the back. A lot of people have all sorts of malformed teeth issues, and I have a very great symmetry of my teeth personally, and that's just luck of the draw to a certain degree, and that's your genetic past, what you were born with, what behaviors you were involved in that when your teeth were forming as you were growing up, and also when they came through, what you were doing to preserve their symmetry. But this is an exercise to preserve that symmetry and strength and their straightness, but it's also going to help restore that to a certain degree with long-term daily practice. So one thing I realized I forgot to mention, and this is referencing back to the beginning of the series, I was talking about brushing your teeth. If you want to, once a week, use a more abrasive protocol on your teeth to remove stains, specifically if you have a lot of bad stains from eating a lot of green juice with sunflower sprouts in them, you're going to get slightly yellow teeth from a chemical that's in the green sunflower sprouts. But also any other raw food generally is very staining because antioxidant containing foods penetrate into cell membranes very easily and color them, because that's what an antioxidant does, which to a certain degree it's fine, it's not causing you any issues, but some people find discolored teeth unsightly, which makes sense, but it's not an actual health thing, it's more cosmetic. So you can brush with baking soda or sea salt once or twice a week at most. Otherwise you're going to be wearing down the enamel if you're trying to do it every day. But yeah, just do that and you're going to clear up your teeth, you're going to have a radiant smile. I hope you can work towards that yourself, and remember to embrace life without limits. If one had too much sexual if one had